There's a few different steps that we can take to help somebody who's biting their fingernails all the time. The first one is we need to create a trigger hierarchy list. So basically what we're doing is we're just listing all the triggers that cause you to bite your fingernails. And this could be anxiety provoking activities that you engage in. It could be meetings, when you're in meetings. It could be if you've got social anxiety, you might start biting your fingernails. It could also just be boredom as well. So if you're bored on a night watching the telly, you could start biting your fingernails. So we make a list and write down exactly when you're biting your fingernails. If you can do it in list form, or it might be better if you get a weekly planner with the days and the times on, then you can really pin down when you're biting your fingernails the most. So that's the first stage. The second stage is we've got to look at what you're gaining from biting your fingernails. So from a sensory aspect, if you're biting something, this activates the proprioceptive system, and this is through your muscles, your ligaments and your joints. And what your proprioceptive system does is it calms your limbic system, and it has a calming effect. So it works on the reticular formation in your brain stem, and it's very calming. So anytime we chew on something or we activate any muscle groups or muscles, ligaments and joints, this has a calming effect. So one of the sensory strategies that I would advise is that we replace the biting for a similar activity that's going to give you the same proprioceptive input. So this might be, it could be using a stress ball, because that's activating your muscles, ligaments and joints when you're squeezing. Anything that's squeezing is going to help you. So we do an intervention with a lot of the young people that suffer from sensory processing disorder. It's called dots and squeezes. So what you do is you squeeze the palm of your hand, or you put a dot, in the palm of your hand, then you squeeze down your arm. And this should prevent that, that satisfaction that you get from biting. This'll replace that same input that you're getting. So it activates the same neurological pathway as biting would. So that's the second strategy that you would try. The third strategy is engaging in more relaxation techniques. So you could try progressive muscle relaxation. I can do another video on this, or if you ask us what progressive muscle relaxation is, I can give you a demonstration. Also, you can try some guided imagery. So these are all things that you can do quite covert as well. So if you are finding that you're biting your fingernails in anxiety provoking situations, these are things that you could nip into your office and do to prevent your anxiety from rising. So any calming strategies, guided meditation, guided hypnosis, and breathing techniques, diaphragmatic breathing. These are all good techniques to try. So what you want to be doing is you want to be using these techniques at the times you would be biting your fingernails. So these are replacing the fingernail biting. So we cannot just eradicate a behavior. We need to replace it with something else. And this is because the neuronal networks, the way they work is, the more you engage in a behavior, then the more that behavior becomes ingrained. It's like a stream flowing down. It's like a stream flowing down in between a field, if you like. So the more times that water flows down the same route, the more it becomes ingrained. So it's the same with your neuronal networks. The more that you engage in a behavior, the more that becomes ingrained. So the next step would be to use cognitive coping statements. Then these are just like self-talk statements, just telling yourself that you can do it, that you can get through it, you don't need to bite your nails, or you don't need to engage in any other habit that you might be engaging in. Now, this doesn't all have to be doom and gloom. You can make this fun. You can think of a friend, what a friend would say to you when you bite your nails. Go around your different friends in your group, think about what your parents would say if they saw you biting your nails all the time, your girlfriend, and think about what they would say in their voice. And this makes it a little bit more fun, so it's not all doom and gloom. Now, the next stage would be to put a reward system in place. So we've already started tracking when we're biting our fingernails, but we need to pinpoint on how many times we've been biting our fingernails throughout the day. Now, once we start seeing a reduction in this number, we can start rewarding ourselves. So put a reward chart together and say, if I stop biting my fingernails more than 3 times in a day, then I'll take us out for a meal, or I'll buy myself something, I'll buy myself some new shoes, I'll buy myself some new trousers. So this is a bit of a counter conditioning approach where you're actually rewarding yourself for not biting your fingernails. So that's a really good strategy as well. So thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, comment below. If you want to check out my website at the moment, Sunderland Autism Therapy, that's more of an occupational therapy based practice, if you like, where I'm looking at sensory processing disorders and developmental coordination disorders. But I've also got a new website coming up soon where I'm going to be doing more psychotherapy and hypnotherapy, looking at habits and stress reduction. So check that out when it comes out, and thanks for watching the video.